Oh, look at that. 3 free chaos chests. Now, I don't know if you guys on console are going to be getting that, but apparently the curio merchant didn't rotate correctly. Like, he's basically using the last items that he used, and they're trying to resolve it. And in the meantime, they gave us some chaos chests. Anyways, what's up, dudes and dudes here? And my name's Scyushi, and we have more Trove. And today we're gonna be talking about ya boy Luxion, which actually looks like a pretty competent inventory, albeit a lot of gross things. You know what? I'm kind of glad that he's rotated back because I wanted this life pod. So I'm gonna probably pick that one up. Seems like it's all very broken. I don't like that it's 1,000 credits. Anyways, so for Luxion's inventory, we got quite a few things. I don't know why we've got some out of season Halloween stuff. That's a little bit weird. We've got this little pumpkin ally, the Were Pumpkin, which is a pumpkin that is both wolf and pumpkin combined. I like him just because he's the Chaos Chest ally reskin, so he's like, bleh, which is one of my favorites. Then we've got Samantha. You might want to grab this one just because it's a pretty difficult ally to get, and actually is one of the few allies that actually gives 50 mastery. This is going to not really worth that for the 75 dragon coins, but it gives 3 jump, 13 superstition. What does superstition do? Superstition is a joke stat. It doesn't do anything. It kind of does exactly what it's supposed to do. It makes people superstitious and think that there's like a secret to it. Then we've got the Chromatic Cumulus again, which I find so strange because there's literally like 3 or 4 of these bad boys. But for whatever reason, this is the one that Luxion just keeps having over and over. Not worth the dragon coins if you want to actually like buy it and try to sell it. It's just this. You can get the free Nimbus by just grinding Skyland boxes anyways, so why would you ever go for this one? Then there's the Trovian Tumbler. And this one, I mean, I've never been the biggest fan of it. Like, I think it's really cool, but I think generally speaking, it's never been very valuable or coveted for some reason. Probably because it's like Batman, right? It's just the Dark Knight, but it doesn't have like spinning wheels or anything like that. The original concept mod for this was really cool, and then they made it like all the Trove colors and the Trove logo on the back so that it would actually get accepted into the game. But yeah, it was always a very expensive item. Albeit not something that anyone ever wanted that much. Then we got this ally, Loreiasquella. 10 movement speed, 8 jump, not worth it, but definitely cheaper than those and gives a little bit more in terms of the flux trade-off. Nobody wants that, like seriously, let's be real. Then there's a Luxion style stash. Now in the style tab, let's just go to weapons for example. You see all these different categories, right? Well, some of them, like Pinata for example, this is going to end up giving you a random seasonal event Pinata or Luxion equipment style. So in most cases, you're basically spending 15 dragon coins to get 1 mastery. You only need to do this when you're at the very, very end of the game and unlocked like almost all of the styles already, that the style unlocker won't unlock, the Luxion style stash will. So you could get really lucky and get some Pinata hat styles, which would give you like 10 mastery a pop, but yeah, not really worth it. Then we've got 10 bound Brilliance, which would be a valuable resource, except it's 25 dragon coins each. If it was 25 dragon coins for all 10, then maybe I would actually consider it, because bound Brilliance is kind of a mandatory resource for upgrading your gems and what have you. But generally speaking, this is a beginner's trap. Don't go for it. Then we've got the Golden Hoard Dragon Souls, which you can buy 15 per visit. He's on a bi-weekly schedule, which means you can only get the maximum amount of these souls over the course of like 2 months or something like that. And then it'll ultimately end up giving you the Dragon Badge, which lots of mastery out of this as you slowly go through it. The Golden Hoard Dragon Fledgling or whatever is a really good, this one, the Dragonling. Really good starter ally for physical classes. But then otherwise, as you all know, as we've done with hundreds of these Luxion videos, the Luxion mount itself, this one flies, but it doesn't do anything else. And this one flies and shoots the fireballs. So I like to always take the opportunity to talk to you guys candidly about stuff that's going on with the channel, stuff that's going on with real life in these Luxion videos. So let's get started with that. Let's also get out of the hub because I'm sick of this. I don't like the snow. It hurts my eyes. All right, so let's talk about the elephant in the room, the Heckbug event. Now, those of you that didn't already check out both my video and my live stream talking about it, something pretty unprecedented ended up happening with Trove. For those of you that don't know, basically a lot of these events and what have you in Trove are kind of already scheduled and hard-coded into the game. So what I'm assuming happened was the Heckbug event rolled out last week or this week because it was supposed to, because it always rolls out the second week of February. But they had other plans on the dev team, and so they were like, oops, and didn't count on it. So they just removed it from the game, and then they delayed it to February 18th for whatever reason. Now, the reason why this is a little bit problematic, you might have checked out in my live stream, I got a little bit heated about this, because the event itself actually has some pretty coveted like end game resources for grinding up mystic gear and what have you. It's not much, mind you, but the point is that event was available for like 8 hours or something like that before the devs finally took it away, which means that all of the people that were playing during Goblin hours and took advantage of it have a distinct advantage over all of us that didn't get to take advantage of it, because they got to grind it long before it even actually ended up coming out. And they got to get all the daily items. And then by the time the event actually goes live, all of those daily items would have reset, meaning that they just got free items. So thanks for that one, devs. You screwed up. They should have, in my opinion, just been like, oops, and rolled the update out for everybody, including everyone on console. Because there was also a bug on console. You guys might have noticed that the Heckbug packs became available on console for a little while, and then they kind of got hidden, and it was just a mess that nobody planned on. So I don't know why they even regressed the update anyways. And it kind of sucks because, let's be real, there's nothing going on in Trove right now. And it kind of sucks. It's a bummer because it means that we don't really have anything worth grinding right now. And the Heckbug event is always a fun one to grind. But okay, let's talk about some other games. Namely, we've got Monster Hunter coming in like a couple weeks or something like that. It's so close, it's insane. It's like on the 27th. And that is going to be a game that I will definitely play at day one, if I can. And I'll talk about if and why in a little bit, because that regards to real life stuff. But yeah, I'm really excited about Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm not big into Monster Hunter. You guys have been requesting me to play Monster Hunter on the channel for years. Most of all, like the older fans. And I did play Monster Hunter World, but I think I just had like a different mentality towards gaming back then that I just didn't really find the game appealing. Wilds, on the other hand, being open world and just being a little bit more open to experimentation and just kind of play the way that you want, really appeals to me. And while I wasn't immediately sold on the game, when I played the beta, I forced myself to get acquainted enough with the basic mechanics of the weapons and try all of them out and so on and so forth, that ultimately the game clicked. And my God, it is so fun. So I'm really looking forward to playing that on the channel with you guys or alone. I mean, it doesn't matter, whatever. But that doesn't mean that I don't have other plans for you guys. I am working on a couple different VR videos, so VR fans rejoice because it's actually going pretty good. Most of all, it's just kind of these one-off, like, basically I started to really experiment with side quests, which allows you to have modifications of games that aren't normally VR games, but people have made them in VR. So I'm going to play like Doom 2, Blood, Hexen, a bunch of old games. And then also, you might have already caught my Jedi Academy video. I have since bought Jedi Outcast and have been playing through that, so I'll probably have that as a singular video. It's something that's going to take a while to make because I kind of want to beat the game and then just have one dedicated video about it. Another thing, too, that a couple of you have asked about is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which, yes, I am working on one singular video for that game. I kind of just got to finish up like a couple extra things, and then I'll try to get that video out to you guys. Unfortunately, there's not going to be an uncut member version because what I've been doing is experimenting with a different style of recording with that Kingdom Come video because of the game being such a huge like time sink of walking and waiting and just very slow paced. I've kind of opted into just recording like clips here and there. Basically, just if I see something funny or something happens, I clip it, and then I'm going to compile all of that into a singular video for Kingdom Come. No comment on Avowed. I might end up covering it. I might not. I don't really care that much. Oh, another thing. A couple weeks, maybe a month or two back, I was talking about Minecraft on the channel. That is still a plan, but it's very tentative. It kind of really depends when I have the free time and when enough games have like settled down that I'm not interested in, that I want to actually like dedicate to Minecraft. Basically, there's the Minecraft Bedrock version, and with it you can buy like a subscription model that allows you access to all of these custom campaigns. And I want to start covering those on the channel at some point. But I'll just say that it's kind of on the back burner. It's not really important for me. And I just don't know if I would end up having the time if I started right now, because baby's on the way. So this is in regards to when I said Monster Hunter, I might not be able to play it day one. So I don't want to end up getting into too much details with it, just because, it's all personal stuff. And it's also kind of just annoying and complex things that people that aren't involved with the idea of having somebody pregnant wouldn't know all of this stuff. But basically, my wife ended up getting gestational diabetes. So basically, while she's pregnant, she has diabetes. As soon as baby's born, she doesn't have that anymore. But it comes with some complications, because it basically means that the insulin that her body is producing isn't like producing it in the proper way that the baby gets it. So that's why she's had to completely change her diet, use the insulin injector and stuff like that, right? So what that can entail is baby getting bigger and bigger and bigger before born. So baby could potentially get too big before born. So what's going on right now is originally Mariko's due date was going to end up being March 10th. Labor could have came any time earlier than that as well. But now the doctors are saying that they want to end up inducing labor. And our plan is to push it into March if we can. And then they're going to start the process, unless something severe enough comes up that they're like, oh no, we got to start right now. So that's where, with Monster Hunter and stuff being so close to the end of the month, like I'm going to be super busy with like baby. So for a while, when that happens, I'll update you guys accordingly when it ends up actually coming about. But it means that games are going to kind of take a bit of a back seat. This is going to be the biggest thing that has ever happened in my life that is going to end up also affecting the channel, obviously, because family comes first. I will, however, be swapping to doing vlogs for you guys for a little while until I end up getting things a bit under control with the channel. I'm not saying that I won't still play all of these games, but I talked about it in another video where I'm going to have to start being very picky with the content that I cover. So, for example, as I talked about before, if Ghost of Yotei comes out the same time as GTA 6, I'm going to prioritize getting GTA 6. I'm no longer going to be able to just deep dive into two separate games right at the same time, speedrunning through them and stuff, because I'm going to have way too much real life responsibility under my belt. It doesn't mean that I won't play a game like Ghost of Yotei. It just means that it might get delayed in favor of other games. And that's something that I feel is going to end up affecting the channel from there on out when I have a child. And, for the most part, I think it's going to end up being better for the channel, because it means that you guys won't be as swamped with like videos to catch up on. Because I know I have a bad habit of just like, new game, super exciting, go, 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 right? And then I just cover it to death, basically. Like, look at Path of Exile, which I do still plan on covering Path of Exile and a bunch of our games on the channel, including Helldivers, whenever the new Black Hole event ends up starting or whatever. But yeah, that's, neither here nor there, something that we've already discussed previously. I just wanted to kind of update you guys on everything that was going on with it all. I'll probably end up talking about this in more detail when it comes a little bit sooner, like, when baby is actually like on the way or whatever. But even then, it's not like I'm going to be able to rush out a video. It's happening. I'll probably have to deal with it and then have a video talking about it happening. And like I said, there will be a lot more vlogs, so you can look forward to that. And in any case, I appreciate you watching, appreciate your support, guys. Smash like, subscribe, notification bell, all that stuff. Buy the merch you want to support the channel. I do still have some of my merch ordered from my new shop on Fourth Wall, which is significantly cheaper. But my God, their shipping is terrible. I wanted to order some merch so that I had a firsthand experience and could do like a review of my shop for you guys. But it's gonna take like a month for it to show up. So yeah, that kind of sucks. Anyways, later guys.